I listened to Brian Kelly, laser focused, and recently he said there might be one move to the downside, maybe 8,500. And what he said, and I'm going to say this carefully, a generational buying opportunity.
That's right. Stand by that. I think you're going to have a massive buying opportunity here. We may have already seen it in the 9,000, so yeah, I might be trying to be too cute with this, but there's too much money coming into this market. You're going to have an opportunity to have a generational buy in Bitcoin sometime, I would say in the next 6 months.
I like it. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily, where, of course, you subscribe for our daily videos on exactly what is going on with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in the world today. Today's video is all about recent news and market analysis, and let's start right here. So what you just listened to was CNBC analyst and Bitcoin evangelist Brian Kelly giving his thoughts on what is going to happen with Bitcoin in the short term, going into the long term. As he said, if, and I repeat if Bitcoin drops, that could be a once in a generational buying opportunity. So let's talk about what he might mean by that. So I'm sure Brian Kelly is seeing what I'm seeing, what you are seeing, what all of crypto is seeing, this descending triangle that we've been in for the last 2-3 months. As you know, descending triangles usually break downwards over 70% of the time, just like what we saw back at the end of the 2018 bear market. We saw the capitulation happen at the end of this descending triangle. Now, what's different about this descending triangle is that this descending triangle is at the start of a bull run, not the end of, or the start of a bull market, not the end of a bear market. And, you know, the fact that everybody is seeing this could mean that we don't break down. You know, when everybody sees something, usually maybe the opposite happens, just because that's how psychology works. And as he said, you know, us seeing Bitcoin in the $9,000 range for the past 2-3 months, that could have been the generational buying opportunity. There's no guarantee that Bitcoin goes lower. Of course, it is possible. Now, the reason it could be a once in a generational buying opportunity is because, as we have seen in the prior bull market, even in bull markets, when Bitcoin breaks down, we can still see a 30-40% breakdown in bull markets. But what you see here is we're in the day chart right now. Each time this has happened, it's only lasted a couple of days, less than a week for sure. Like right here, like right here. I mean, you can see it. So, question is, if Bitcoin does suffer a breakdown in October, in November, whenever this happens, will you be a buyer? And when I ask myself that question, the answer is yes, because as you know, Bitcoin's halving is coming up in 243 days, where the supply flow will be cut in half from 12.5 to 6.25. But today what I want to talk about is all these notable figures, specifically athletes coming out pro-Bitcoin. So you know that Russell Okung, the left tackle for the Los Angeles, Chargers, he just put on the Bitcoin conference. He's been very vocal about pay me in Bitcoin. He wants to be paid in Bitcoin. I met him, as you know, both my brother and I did, and he's a very big Bitcoin bull. But besides him, because we already got him, that's not exciting anymore. I mean, it is, but we already got him. There's so many other athletes coming out in support of Bitcoin. For instance, this is recent news just today. NBA star to convert his $34 million contract into a digital investment. So an NBA basketball player for the Brooklyn Nets, Spencer Dinwiddie, is converting his multi-million-dollar contract into a digital token investment vehicle. Let's find out some details. So this is a quote from the article. Dinwiddie, according to multiple sources, this is confirmed, I'll show you in a second, is starting his own company to securitize his NBA contract in the form of a digital token as he begins a 3-year, $34 million extension with the Nets. It's unclear how much of his contract amount he wants to raise up front, but it would likely be less than the total amount according to sources. So basically, of course, he's not putting all $34 million into Bitcoin. This guy's got to eat. But the fact that he's interested at all, and so this has been confirmed by multiple sources, but the most damning evidence, in my opinion, is Spencer Dinwiddie tweeting on September 12th, BTC. This guy is a Bitcoin bull, and he is making waves in the community. Well, we just talked about football, then we transitioned to basketball. Now let's talk about soccer, or English football, because check this out. Bitcoin confirmed as a new sleeve partner to England's Watford soccer team or football team, depending on where you're from. Check this out. The Bitcoin logo, the B, will appear on the sleeve shirt of Watford FC this season as part of an educational drive led by the innovative sports betting brand SportsBet.io. So if you don't know what SportsBet.io is, they are an online sports betting platform that exclusively transacts in Bitcoin. If you're in America, you won't be able to use this, but people use this all over the world. And the reason they're doing this, according to the head of marketing for SportsBet.io, says that the crypto community has been hugely supportive of us since we began. So putting the Bitcoin logo on the sleeve felt like a fun way to give something back while also showing them our support. He goes on to say, our partnership with Watford marks a major disruption in the world of traditional sports sponsorships. By adding the Bitcoin logo, we hope this world's first partnership will create even more buzz around the cryptocurrency. So again, this is obviously a huge thing going on in the world of sports, the world of awareness, the world of adoption. We're going to finish off the sports section of today's video. I'm going to mention two more athletes that are big on Bitcoin. I started off this video talking about Russ Okung, who wants to be paid in Bitcoin, the Los Angeles Chargers. How about this NFL athlete? This comes straight out of NFL.com, the official website. Matt Barkley has tried to get his contracts in Bitcoin. So the Buffalo Bills backup asked both previous teams, the 49ers and the Bengals, for a Bitcoin-based contract. They both turned him down, but the athletes are clamoring for this. And then finally, quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks, Richard Sherman, is big on Bitcoin. He also has a partnership with an exchange. I'll just play the first 5 seconds of this.
I'm here with Richard Sherman, cornerback for the Seattle Seahawks, longtime crypto enthusiast, and the spokesperson for Robinhood.
Yes.
You get the idea. Now, it's not just athletes. As you know, Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Square Cash App and the CEO of Twitter, he is a huge Bitcoin bull. He's not into all crypto. He is specifically into Bitcoin, and he constantly tweets about it. Just retweeted something that's going on with Square Crypto. Really happy Square Crypto is doing this. Square Crypto is giving a bunch of money to BitPay Server, a product that appears to be in direct competition with the Cash App. It isn't. Here is why. They talked about this at the Baltic Honey Badger Conference. But it's not just athletes. It's everybody is slowly coming out as Bitcoin bulls. Let's pivot a little bit. There was just a survey done, a study conducted by eToro, and the results they found were this. According to a recent poll, 40% of Americans born between 1980 and 1994 would invest in cryptocurrencies during a recession. So millennials, 40% say they would invest in cryptocurrencies during a recession. This is interesting. I want to play you actually the beginning of this CNBC interview where Fundstrat's Tom Lee talks about why he thinks a recession wouldn't necessarily be good for Bitcoin, but he thinks the stock market, if the stock market is doing well, Bitcoin will do well. So check this out.
What's a catalyst for the next leg higher? Let's check in with none other than Tom Lee, co-founder and head of research at Fundstrat Global Advisors, who joins us from a conference here in New York City. Tom, great to have you with us.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
What will take it higher?
So I think the next big catalyst is a decisive breakout in the equity markets, because I think once equities break to an all-time high, Bitcoin becomes a risk-on asset.
So you need the equity markets to hit an all-time high for Bitcoin to hit all-time highs.
Yes. In fact, we published a piece today just showing our clients that if you look at in the last 10 years and take the 3 or 4 best years of the S&P, they've all coincided with the best years for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin does best when the S&P is up more than 15%.
So this whole notion of Bitcoin being a hedge against risk, does that go out the window then?
Well,
or does that play into
yeah, or
Bitcoin's
Bitcoin may be ambidextrous, that it works well in a risk-on world, but as you start to get nervous, then you treat it like digital gold.
If markets go to record highs, where does that bring Bitcoin to?
Well, I think that this starts to sort of bring back into the narrative that if markets make a new all-time high and we see central banks still supportive, it's kind of good for liquidity. So there's sort of liquidity going into Bitcoin. And more importantly, if there's an interest in acquiring some volatility, that's where you're going to see people buying Bitcoin.
Is your prediction that the markets will, in fact, go to record highs?
I think that we're inching closer. So our base case has been for a second half rally in the S&P 500 to greater than 3125. all-time high is around 3,025. I think we're going to surpass that soon, and it would be bullish for Bitcoin.
So take that for what it is. It could be both. Bitcoin could do well in a recession, and it could do well in a bullish market, traditional stock market. So, all right, my friends, that is it for me. My name is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. Hey, give this video a like, support the channel. We come at you every day with recent news and analysis. I've said all year that 2019 is a great year to accumulate Bitcoin. And I was accumulating Bitcoin around here. I turned out to be right. I'm still buying Bitcoin around here. I hope I turn out to be right. I think we are in the beginning of a bull cycle. I think that the best is yet to come. All right, my friends, I will see you tomorrow.